Oh, I'm gonna need a moderator or something, really.
What's wrong?
So like when I went live, um, it says I'm on Instagram.
You're live on We're live on Facebook.
Right. So I was trying to connect it on Instagram too, but it made me. Are you hearing it?
On Facebook.
Mm, on Instagram.
Oh, I'm not on Instagram. Let me go look.
Mm-mm. It's like I'm getting a back feed.
You're getting feedback on Instagram.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You're getting feedback on Instagram.
Yeah, because it's open in two different.
You're getting feedback on Instagram. You the yeah, I had it open, so that's what you heard.
I'm hearing it on my side.
See, I didn't hear it on my side.
Well, if looks like we have two people on resolutions. Please post, comment, like, share. Happy New Year, y'all.
Yeah, happy 2024.
We are back.
I feel like it's been forever.
Oh no.
Make sure you guys say hi when you join us so we'll know who's there. Tag some people.
Are you putting the X symbol before that?
I just typed the names.
Mm.
Hi, Charlotte. Did I see Miss Bernita?
I was trying to
Oh, you
tell
ain't typing her name. Hey, cousin. Hey, Quila. Oh, I can't wait for you to tell me how Christmas was. Don't get to typing because I ain't heard from you. So, Yolanda, Quila's my cousin. Before Christmas, she's the one who her mom was gonna spend Christmas with them. Do you remember that? We talked about them spending their first Christmas together. So I can't wait to hear how it was. I look like I'm right in the camera. How is everybody?
So I just had to end it on Instagram because
Okay.
it was giving me too much feed. Too much
Okay.
feed.
Can you share it? If you share it to the to Facebook stories, you may be able to share the link in Instagram too. Are the accounts connected?
Mm-hmm.
So if you share it to stories, you might be able to send the link.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Did y'all have a good time?
Yeah, so I want to hear all about Christmas.
From Quila?
Yeah, the lady that we were
Yeah,
talking to.
yeah. I was about to say you don't want to hear about mine. No, it wasn't. It wasn't bad. She said it was amazing. Oh, I'm so happy.
Well, that's good. That is absolutely great.
That's so good. How is everybody else's Christmas?
So not negative like she was thinking it was going to be.
Right.
So did that give you a different expectation moving forward?
Oh, she didn't even tell me. Oh, you know what? I think she did. I was over there and she missed the call from y'all, so I guess I was gone by the time y'all actually talked. Charlotte had all her children and grandchildren together.
That's right. So y'all can also send us some stars. Just please remember to like, share, comment, let people know that we're here. This is the first stream of 2024. And tonight we'll be talking about goal setting or setting goals. It looks like we have quite a few people on. I shared it and I tagged some people. So how do I when you have your phone on you?
I do. What you need?
Oh, I was gonna text you something. So I know several people every year do vision boards.
Yeah, we can.
And LaQuinta shared something with me this year that her and her daughter were going to do prayer boards. And I was like, oh, what's that? And so she sent me an example of one, and I went to TikTok, of course. They're very interesting. I really enjoyed making mine.
Yeah, I'll share mine too at in a minute.
Have any of the rest of you done anything like that or completed vision boards so far this year? Nobody? Well, somebody tell me what your goals are for the year.
So, Yolanda, before we get into that, I want to share a definition. I'm gonna get in my teacher bag for a minute because
Okay.
when as you said that, I was thinking we need to set goals, but we also need to set expectations for ourselves and for our life. So, I want to define the difference between a goal and an expectation.
Mm-hmm.
So, a goal is defined as the object of a person's ambition or effort, an aim or desired result. So, and then an expectation is defined as a strong belief that something will happen or be the case in the future, a belief that someone will or should achieve something. So, in my head, a goal would be kind of like what you want to accomplish or achieve, for the year. You may want to go back to school or graduate or get a new job or get a new certification or whatever the case is. But expectations are more like how the belief that it's going to happen or that you're going to do that. So like you can have the goal to do it, but if your expectation is not aligned with your goal, then you're never going to get to it. And I think a lot of times that's why we don't get where we need to get, because we have goals, but we don't have the expectation that it's actually going to happen. So we don't make decisions that align with us achieving those goals. Does that make sense?
It's like faith. So you
It's
have a goal to accomplish something, but you don't have the faith that you're going to achieve it.
and
So
and with and without that, you won't do the work. So that's that anticipation or the believing that, yes, I said I was going to do it and I cut the picture out of the magazine and I glued it to the board, but now what am I going to do to make it happen? So I'll share. If you want me to share my prayer board now?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So as Yolanda and I were talking, and we did do a vision board, and I actually saw the idea for the prayer board on TikTok. It's not my original idea. And so I talked to my daughter. I sent it to my daughter, and she's like, yeah, let's do that. So we actually did both. And so for us, the prayer board is more about our expectations, aligning our expectations with the vision that we have for ourselves. And our plan is to, as the year goes, each day, whenever we feel the desire to, we pray all the time anyway, but and I know Yolanda writes down a lot of prayers. So instead of just having sticky notes everywhere, we have a dedicated place to put our prayers. And then at the end of the year, our plan is to go back and look and see, hi Bianca, look back and reflect over the year and see how prayers are answered. So I'm gonna see, can y'all? Okay, you can kind of see it. So mine just says, Dear God. And then I have some different affirmations and scriptures. And so I have one for, these are just envelopes. That's it. For health. I'm going the wrong way. Finances, faith, personal, other, that's kind of miscellaneous, and then family. And then I heard, and so I already have prayers in different ones. Matter of fact, I just wrote a couple down while I was waiting. I'm gonna stick that in there, and just random sheets of paper, sticky notes, whatever. But I was listening to, who was it? Oh, I can't think. But it was something that Priscilla Shire said. When she prays, she ends her prayers, God, do this or something better. And so that's what I wrote on my prayer board, because I was like, man, what if those were the options we gave God? Like, I know what I'm asking for, and if you don't want to give me this, cool, I'll take something better. You know what I mean? So that's a new expectation that I have personally for 2024. Whatever I ask God, whatever good thing I ask God, He's gonna give me that or something better.
Well, mine, I can show y'all a picture of it, but I cannot show it to you because I did it with glitter, and so it's a bit of a mess. And so I'm gonna have to revamp it. But the one thing that I did do different than LaQuinda was I put an envelope on there for answer prayers.
I saw that.
I don't know if you can see this.
You got to go the opposite way. That's what I kept doing.
Yeah. And so I said prayer board and then manifest. And I'm not finished with it because I bought some jewels and all kind of little stuff to put on it. So when I'm done, I'll let you know. I like to paint. So I painted a canvas purple. And I was all intentional about the colors and everything.
Yeah.
Like blue, the spiritual meaning was tranquility, wisdom, communication, protection, and spiritual awareness. And that one was for my immediate family. And then I had an envelope for spiritual growth, and then that one was green because the color green represents mental and physical health and wellness. And I put my answer prayers in pink. Pink, when I looked it up, the spiritual meaning was love, compassion, and spiritual harmony. And so I plan on checking mine at the end of every month because I'm believing God to answer some of those prayers this month.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought about doing earlier check-ins too, but I know me, child. I'll be in there every week.
Hey,
But
that's
we'll see. we may move faster. Oh, that's an idea, Bianca.
oh yeah, that is a good idea.
May not wait till next year.
That's a good idea.
Who knows? Who knows? But in alignment with what we had planned to talk about tonight, which was setting goals, the whole purpose of the vision board, prayer board is just to kind of be aware of where you want to go uh, over the course of this year, because intentionality is important. Um, and so not having a plan, what's the saying? If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And so
Mm-hmm.
while we don't know what every day will bring, we do need to have a goal, have goals and expectations in mind for where we want to go. Um, I'm not a new year, new me person. We were talking about this before we started. Like, if you gotta be a new you every year, you doing something wrong. Like, we should constantly be evolving into a better version of ourselves, but you got to start over every year. You got to cut somebody off every year. Like, something is wrong.
Yeah.
If that's your annual testimony, every year you got to start over. And if that has been the case, then maybe this can be the year that this will be the last restart, and you just evolve each year.
Right. Because I think it's important to know that you can implement boundaries with people without necessarily cutting them off. They have
Exactly.
their place and you put them in it. It doesn't mean you have to be ugly.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, they have their place.
And I think it's not healthy. Now, some people you do need to cut off. Let me preface my statement by saying that. But some people don't need to be cut off. You just need to figure out how you can deal with that person, because they still may have something positive to offer to
Mm.
your life. But when you don't know how to navigate through the difficult parts of people, um, I think you set yourself up to eventually push everybody away potentially, because nobody's gonna have it all together. So if you get in the habit of every time somebody makes you angry, or y'all disagree on certain topics,
Or
and
just
your
point you.
yeah, or disappoint you, and your answer to that is to cut them off, that's not healthy.
Mm-hmm. Has anybody on here ever been in that position where you cut somebody off and then maybe later, once you calm down or had a clearer head or some time had passed, you thought, maybe I should, maybe I was a little impulsive. Look, Linda, I'm gonna step away real quick because I hear
Okay.
some noise.
Okay. Okay. Um, so part of us evolving, I think, is learning to set boundaries, healthy boundaries. Like I have people, some family members, some friends that I can only do small doses. Um, like we good, we can talk for a while. Um, but eventually I know their conversation is going to turn negative, or they're going to try to, some people just like pulling you into an argument or a debate, and you don't want to go there. So when the conversation starts to turn, you may have to be like, okay, hey, this is the part where I leave. Shaquilla said, okay, since we're talking about goals, a coworker and I were talking, goals is to become a better mom. But she said she struggled with it because she never wanted kids. What y'all think? Ooh. I mean, why she have them? That would be my question. But since they are here,
I'm back.
but since they are here, that's something that she probably needs. She definitely needs therapy to figure out, first of all, why did she decide to have kids, and then how to be a mother to them, because um like does she have a good relationship with her mother, or
Mm.
did she, or like uh, she got a whole lot of stuff to work out, because you can't you she's gonna damage those kids if she doesn't move past that. Because kids pick up on things like that. How old are they? Wait, how old are her kids? And do you know why she chose to have children? Was it because of a relationship, or
And I only asked because I think it was a time where I didn't want kids either. But I knew my husband wanted kids. My parents wanted grandchildren, and so I mean, for me, I waited till I was at a place in my life to where I knew it was no longer going to be about me, and it could be about them.
Yeah.
So I think plans can change.
Plans can change. 13 and 7. Oh, she had them kids for a long time. Them old kids.
Six. Mine are 6.
Yeah.
Mm.
So yeah.
And the other thing, okay, so I'm gonna look at it from a positive point. She may not be a bad mom. She's saying that she wants to be a better mom. I wonder, does she just have some guilt that's irrational because she never wanted them?
That's true.
It may
Do
not
you
be
know
being bad, they 13 and 7, so she gotta be doing something right.
why she feels like she's a bad mom? Because that's a good point. She may not be as bad as she thinks. She may not be bad at all. Does she feel like she didn't spend enough time with them? Does she feel like she ignores them? Like, do you know why she
And,
feels like a bad mom?
and I guess we should not say bad mom because what she said was to be a better mom.
Okay,
So
that's true. What does she feel like she's not doing well as a mother? Because if she's a working mom, some of the things that she may be feeling like she needs to do because of society implications, that may not be realistic. Um, and that's another, we need to make sure that our goals and expectations aren't based on what other people think we should be doing.
yeah, your goals and expectations need to align with your life.
Mm-hmm.
And you're
And they need to be realistic based on where you are emotionally, mentally, financially, um, chronologically, like certain expectations you can't have for yourself starting off. So you have to be honest with yourself when you're setting goals. Um, the time, time restraints. There's certain things that you may have the money and the physical capability to do, but you just don't have the time to do it. And so you just have to be honest with yourself about what it is that you want. Be realistic with the time frame too. Like, you want to, I don't know,
build a house.
build a house. You're not gonna have that by Valentine's Day.
Right. I
You may
mean,
not even have it by Christmas. And if you do, you might not want to, it might be a little shifty. So, just being honest and realistic with ourselves about what it is that we say we want. And I'll be honest, one of the biggest challenges for me is being patient with myself. Um, when it comes to getting things done that I want to get done. Part of that is my ADD, because I'm like I'm always going, and when I'm not going, I'm going to sleep. Um, but part of that is just the overachiever in me, and then I just want it to be done because I know it can be done, and I'm not always patient with myself, and I'm not always patient with God, and that's something that I call myself out on a lot lately.
Well, I know for me, I'm working on having more realistic expectations. Um,
Speaking of overachievers,
yeah, I know it's not realistic for me to say that I'm going to get off of work at 3. So my kids go to after school. So my goal is to leave the office by 5:30. Um, so I can be in the line to get them for 6. 2 weeks out of the month, I do want to go to Bible study. So
and something else that Yolanda and I briefly touched on earlier was how you schedule your day. Because as you set goals and you're working to achieve them, you need to be mindful of how you spend your time. I think a lot of times we're stressed and our anxiety is triggered because we overcommit, and then
mm-hmm.
we don't manage our time appropriately. So like I was talking with okay, I'll get to your comment in 1 second, but talking to a client about managing time, and I was like, well, sometimes you may not be able to chit chat during lunch. You may have to, work, through your lunch, or eat while you're doing this, or emails, or whatever the case is, so that you don't stay that extra hour after school to get it done. You may not be able to, go to Walmart on your break and, do whatever, because you need to use that time to do the stuff that you would have been staying at your job or coming up on the weekends, or whatever the case is, to get done. So finding little ways to manage your day so that you're not staying late or coming in on your off time, if you have to do it, doing it as little as possible. Not volunteering for things
Yeah.
just because they need to be
Yeah.
done.
Yeah. Um, a lot of times, I think I'm gonna say me. I've gotten pushback from some of the things that I feel like I do to try to make my life easier. So Walmart delivers now.
Mm-hmm.
If I don't have time to go to Walmart, I'm just gonna do a Walmart order and they're gonna deliver it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna feel bad about that because I pay for the service.
Right. And you're either going to pay in time or you're going to pay in money. So you got to figure out which currency you're going to use.
Mm-hmm.
So Quiver says she's not a bad mom to me, but I think it's just the way she grew up. For instance, abortion was not an option, but then to give them to someone to care for, she says, is not ever going to happen because no one will love them better. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So yeah. So there's probably just some guilt from, like you said, how she grew up. So that's the first thing she needs to do, is realize that she doesn't have to adhere to whatever norms she had growing up. If that doesn't work for her, then you change the narrative. You just make sure it works for you and your children.
Yep. Bianca said, I've shifted to a daily planner based on the hours in the day. Me too. I'm gonna show y'all my planner. I love it. If it's in here.
This is mine. I usually get a 2 to 3 year planner so that I can look back if I need to. And it's gonna be filled. I like technology, but I still like a hard copy of certain things.
LaQuenda, let me see.
It's just a basic planner.
It's 3 years? Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And whenever I sit down to do anything, it's she fancy.
Well, but listen, so I have it, and I'm using it, but because I like paper. I mean, I really love to write.
That's what I just said. I'm a paper. I like technology. I like the paper.
But I bought this.
You will start the planner and finish it. You done by like March, April?
I have been. But this year I am committed. So I'm trying. I said, well, technology doesn't always work, so I think it's good to have a backup. But now, y'all, it's remarkable. I love it. And I even downloaded a digital planner in it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to get to it so I can show you.
I hadn't heard of that one before, the Dyla Studio planner. Now, I'm not an hour by hour planner.
Remarkable. Y'all can see.
Mm-hmm.
And so it comes with a pen, but the one that I have, the case that I have it in now, so it has a keyboard. And I like it because if you don't want to be distracted, like how you're using your MacBook or your whatever, you have all those notifications. There's no notifications with this. It's just you and your tablet.
Your tablet. Mm-hmm.
So you can use it for journaling. I use it for taking notes and sermons and everything.
You haven't found one that piqued your interest yet. Like, so for me, like they have, you can literally do hour by hour. Like I said, I like a multi-year one. I like it to be compact. I don't want nothing too fancy. Just a place for notes and just basic stuff, and then list over to the side. You just have to kind of go in and try some out and see what works for you. But I do think like one that has the weeks and is good to start out with, because you don't want to. Now you got to be honest about who you are. So don't get anything that you're not going to be willing to try. If you don't like to write, get a digital planner. Just put everything on your calendar on your phone.
Yeah.
Because you can schedule it out in advance.
And so back to what we were talking about in the beginning. Can y'all see that?
We can see it. What does that say? Something expense.
Oh yeah. So one side has a expense report.
Oh, okay.
But then the other side has the wins for the month.
Oh, okay.
Gratitude for this month. My business affirmations for.
Oh, that's neat.
Because you always got to be, putting things in the atmosphere, and then it's a space for just brain dumping. But get something that works for you.
Yeah. See, like me, I have a separate budget notebook.
Gordon is
Hello, Gordon. I have a separate budget notebook, that I keep separate from my planner. Um, practicing gratitude at the end of every day. That's a good idea. So, and that, I think that's something that we could all benefit from. So maybe, we can each and you don't have to create anything new for this. Just maybe start a note in your phone of, gratitude, what you're grateful for that day.
Hey, Miss Rosita.
And so
one thing my business coach told me, and I don't necessarily do this every day, but days that I do it, I'm more focused. She said every day she starts her day with a daily self-check. And I was like, okay, so tell me about that. She said she writes down everything that she has to do for the day. And then she looks at her schedule. And to be realistic, if it's something that's on there and she knows she's not going to be able to get it done in the time allotted for that day, she just moves it to the next day.
So that's something that sounds like something similar to what I had a client do. I challenged her to create a list of what she needed to get done, what she felt like she needed to get done for the week. We didn't do for the day. So for the week, like I told her, whatever day, whether it's Sundays, Saturday, whatever day, whatever you feel like you need to accomplish for that week, write it down. If you got assignments due, whatever it is, and then go through and prioritize them. So like highlight in one color what you absolutely have to get done by the end of the week. And then in another color, do what you'd like to get done by the end of the week. But if you don't, it won't be no harm, no foul. And then in the third color, whatever it is that you don't need to get done, you just like to get it done so you could work ahead. So she would and the point of that was for her to learn have a physical representation of how to prioritize tasks, because sometimes we'll feel like we got to get something done right away when the truth of the matter is we got time.
Mm-hmm.
And then we get anxious because now what should have been a top priority got put off on the back burner because this could have waited, but somebody else wanted it done and you made their needs a priority. Now what has to be done is late and you got to rush to get it done. And so
that's somebody else. Sometimes it's us.
Sometimes it's us.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's us.
Our mind is racing and we see something like, oh, I need to do that right now.
Yeah. Yeah. And so by creating that weekly list, that's a good way to help you stay focused and prioritize tasks in order of importance or in order of due date. What'd you say?
I said I'm finna implement that.
Okay. And to me, that's easier than daily to me, because like that could be part of your, as you're getting ready to start your week. And that's something that you can, if you write things down in your planner based on when it's due, you can kind of even look for the month and say, okay, this is not due until the end of the month, but I know it's going to take me a while to do it. So I can start here, or I can wait until next, you know what I'm saying? Just kind of help you prioritize things.
Do you use pencil?
Mm-mm.
Well, I have written some things down in here and they have changed. So,
oh, you mean, I thought, child, listen, sometimes I do, but most of the time I don't. Because
you think so, Gordon? Gordon says you're my cousin's lookalike, because he was so convinced that I was on here with one of my cousins, and I was
like, because most of the things that I write down are like work stuff that's not gonna change, like my calendar, my city stuff, and things like that won't really change. Or if they do, I just mark it out, white it out, scratch through it. I'm not one of be neat and all that. Because sometimes I may need to look back and see where something was rescheduled from one day to another. So
Okay.
hey cousin, hey Jack. But yeah, I think sometimes if we can learn to prioritize things and put ourselves on a better schedule, then we can minimize some of our stress and anxiety. So like when my kids were babies, they went to the same babysitter from the time they were 6 weeks old. My youngest two, from the time they were 6 weeks old, literally until she moved away with her children. And that's how I further knew I couldn't have no more kids because she wasn't available to babysit. Uh, but she had them on a schedule. And when I tell you they stuck to that schedule no matter what, like from the time they were 6 weeks old, I couldn't even go pick my own kids up at certain times because it was going to interrupt their schedule. That's
Oh,
just how and she wasn't mean about it, but she was just very she knew the importance of kids being, if it was their nap time, I don't care what I had going on, don't come get these kids. If it was time for them to eat, don't worry about it. They come back later. And so but they, that schedule stayed with them, I would say up through middle school.
oh wow, that's great.
Probably took, that's probably why they like naps so much now. Because one thing about my kids, they gonna take a nap.
Oh, okay.
Even, even in college, Alex gonna be somewhere asleep. Now he gonna kick it, but he gonna get somewhere and go to sleep.
Mm.
But it helped me a lot because if
Yeah.
I wanted to do something, I knew I had to be home by a certain time. I knew I had to they had to have dinner by a certain time because they were just conditioned to be that way. And now, Stacia especially, she's very um, good about putting herself on a schedule. So if it's study time, she don't care that her mama is calling. That phone is on the other side of her dorm room and she is at her desk studying. And she not gonna answer.
Now that's diligence right there.
Yeah. And I'm like, girl, y'all, but if she's very, very scheduled. Now Alex a little, he different. But the point is, if we can get ourselves on a schedule, it will do us a lot of good.
You're right, because how you gonna have goals and then you not have a schedule?
And we follow other people's schedule. All
Every
of us
day.
work for somebody else.
Yep.
So if we can do it for other people, we can do it for ourselves.
That's true. Mr. Kid, do you have a goal that you want to accomplish this year? I don't know if he's still on here.
Is there anybody who's willing to share a goal or an expectation they have this year?
My mom said she was watching, but I haven't seen her comment.
Ooh,
Bianca, what about you? Do you have a goal for the year? Oh, Kamisa says she wants to end procrastination. Ooh, Minnie, I love it. What other goals do you have? Well, tell me how you're going to start that goal.
Who are you referring to?
Kamisa.
Okay.
She said she wants to
Yeah,
procrastination.
okay.
Jeremy Jones. I have many goals that are measurable and obtainable, but one in specific is to read the Bible this year. Okay.
Mhm.
Are you starting like a specific place, or like you going from the beginning to the end? I only ask because I've been told like to read it in different ways.
Yeah. Writing things down, utilizing the calendar on my phone with reminders.
That's a good start.
What's gonna make you get up and do what needs to be done though when you don't feel like it? Because that was the biggest challenge for me, overcoming procrastination. Like,
Mm.
I know what needed to be done, but
I don't necessarily think I have procrastination. I think sometimes I don't have the best time management.
mm, no. So for me, what I've discovered is when I was procrastinating the most is when I was the most depressed.
Okay. My mom said her goal is to become washed in the word and stop being a sprinkled Christian.
I heard that.
All right. A better person, just all around, mentally, physically, emotionally, financially, but most of all, spiritual.
Because
Um,
I think she meant because death has truly caused me to struggle with faith. Yeah.
oh, okay. Thank y'all for sharing. I'm surrounded
Joseph
with
Bell.
it's cool plus quarter. Oh, Jeremy, I need to get on your plan because I sure want to do it.
Yeah. So to
Beyond
touch go ahead.
Bianca said, I'm working to become more disciplined this year. I've kind of adopted this mindset that while motivation may not sit in, discipline will
Yes.
keep you focused to crush my goals. I like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Discipline is there when because motivation will leave in a
Mm,
heartbeat,
yeah.
but discipline. So I was talking to somebody the other day about discipline, and I use my goddaughter as an example. So she and her husband are committed to working out, right? So she's an educator, mom of two, a 3-year-old and a 8-month-old, 6-month-old.
Mm,
She'll get up at 4:30 and go to the gym and work out before coming back to get her 3-year-old ready for school and then go into her job. That's discipline because baby,
ooh.
I'm not doing it. I'm
That,
not doing it. It's not motivation because she don't always want to go, but she's so disciplined and she knows that once she goes, she feels better.
mm-hmm,
I don't have that kind of faith in the gym. I don't.
mm,
So discipline, that's something that we all need, Charlotte. We have it in some areas, but we could all benefit from having discipline. So yeah, Kamisha, I think that's probably the best way to just get up and do it. Because if you think about it, you can talk yourself out of doing it right then. So, taking away those excuses from yourself. But like I was saying before, like for me, when I was the worse I felt, and I didn't even realize it at the time, the less productive I was, the more I procrastinated because I was so weighed down with just life stuff. So as I started releasing things,
mm-hmm.
I felt lighter and I was able to accomplish more.
And if you were down, you probably wasn't thinking clearly either.
Right. Because and everything felt like more of a task Like even what Kula was saying with, death causing you to struggle with your faith, like when you are not in a good headspace. And sometimes you may not even realize you're not in a good headspace. You may not realize just how off the mark, hi Vonda, how far off the mark you are because you're just going through the motions. And so you just have to push yourself and lean into what you know works instead of focusing on, like with death, instead of focusing on what you lost. Sometimes you just have to focus on what you had and what you have left.
Mm-hmm. But I want y'all to know that it's okay to fall apart. Like if
Yeah.
you're grieving, it is okay to fall apart.
Mhm.
Even still now, like I struggle to fall apart in front of my family. But I wasn't well. I was not doing well Sunday, and I knew I wasn't doing well. I know what's coming up next month.
Mhm.
Um, and I know what I have coming up this month, and so it was just I was overwhelmed. And so what I did was I went to my office and I did some cleaning, but I just prayed.
Yeah.
I prayed over the whole building. I prayed for everybody that comes in, comes out.
Mhm.
Um, and after I finished, I was calm.
And you have to figure out what works for you.
Hmm.
And I think sometimes we feel like if we release those things, we're going to fall apart, but we won't. Sometimes we just need a release.
Hmm.
And sometimes that's tears, sometimes it's just needing to be alone for a minute. Sometimes it's just remembering whatever it is for you. You might need to find a way to release some anger and frustration. Um,
Oh wow, you said being alone for a minute. That made me think of Avery.
mm,
Remember, I told you that she was like, I just need to be alone for a minute. I just need to be alone for a little while. And I
yeah,
wasn't even thinking she may be feeling something too.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And so, sometimes we just need that space to
Hmm.
think. That's fine, Charlotte. You can keep calm. Um, oh, I love being by the water for long.
Mm.
Um, Sometimes you may need to, if you're feeling down, you may need to watch something that's going to, or you're feeling anxious, you may need to watch something that's going to make you laugh or relax. You may need to listen to some music, that's going to help you relax. You may need to listen to some instead of this is another strategy that someone shared with me and that I've been doing when you're having a hard time focusing,
Mhm.
and say like you are trying to read the read the word, reading it out loud or whatever it is that you're reading. It may be something inspirational, maybe the Bible, whatever it is, but
Mhm.
reading it out loud kind of calms that, especially when you're like the type of person who has trouble focusing on one thing at a time, or you're stressed and you're frustrated.
Mhm.
Reading out loud kind of can help with that.
Humming can also.
Hmm. So you just have to try things until you figure out what works for you, but you don't need to apologize for it or explain it to anybody. And you don't have to try to cover it up. If it's a bad day, it's a bad day.
Mhm.
But
Sometimes I used to escape into police shows.
mm, yeah, yeah, whatever it is. And sometimes it doesn't have to be a bad day. It may just be a bad hour or two, and if you'll deal
Ooh,
with it, then it can end.
yes. Do not let a bad situation that comes in ruin your whole day. Don't give
Mm,
anybody that much power over you.
yes. Yeah, that's too much time to give somebody that you
Mhm.
can't charge by the hour.
Mm-mm.
So, process the feeling. And that should be one of our goals, I think, in 2024 is to stop burying our feelings, learning how to effectively communicate what it is that we feel without being combative, without being argumentative, just like, hey,
being assertive,
just being honest.
mm-hmm.
You can simply say, I don't really like when you crack jokes on me like that. Like, okay, you don't like my blonde hair, that's fine, but
Mm-hmm.
you ain't got too many more times to crack a joke about it, you know, at my expense.
Right.
So, yeah, it's about that time, honey.
What did she say?
She said reading and music does help, but lately for some reason she can't stay focused to decide to go back and give she decided to go back and give her therapist a call. Speaking of therapists, remember you made an agreement that you were going to be compliant. Thank you. Is it Shalana? Thank you.
Shalana, yeah.
So I ain't gonna Yolanda, you remember? She agreed to be compliant with something she was supposed to be doing.
Shaquila did.
Shaquila, uh-huh.
Oh, Shaquila. What was it? I don't remember.
You remember what I'm talking about, Quilla?
Miss Rosita, I would encourage you to just start with a daily devotion.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you start with the devotion, it at least has some scriptures in there, and then it'll give you some scriptures to read.
Okay, she says she has been. Okay. So yeah, go back and talk. Just figure out, you know, where you are. Cause I know you probably just thrown yourself into work and to the kids and all that and not really dealt with anything. You've just been suppressing your feelings.
And listen, LaQuinta and I, we're the type of therapists to where like we may not call you out on the carpet on here, but we may pull you to the side and be like, okay, because you haven't scheduled an appointment or a session.
Yeah.
We definitely gonna do that with our family, our loved ones, our friends, because we know the value of it.
Right.
And
Right.
again, something does not always have to be wrong. Like you don't have to be just broke down, suicidal or something like that to talk to a therapist. It's our hope that you'll go before it gets to that point.
For maintenance, because life be out here life and share to everybody, and sometimes you just need somebody to talk to who doesn't have an emotional connection to the situation, who can just provide a safe space for you to say what you need to or figure out, you know, to vent or to figure out how to communicate things to the person in your family that you need to communicate them to. Like, just figure out, you know, who you are as you transition through different stages of life. Because it's like, I'll be honest, you know, being the mother to young adult children is different than being the mother to teenagers or, you know, adolescents. Like it's different. So learning how to navigate this space of they're still my children, but they're young adults. You know what I'm saying? And now I have young adult children. So who am I? You know what I mean?
So what would you say the main difference is?
As far as mothering them, knowing no, so this is important to me. I don't want to tell them what to do anymore. Not all the time. I want to be able to, when they come to me with this, because you know my kids pretty much come to me with about pretty much everything. So when they come to me with a situation, to be able to talk to them about it, give them my perspective, and trust them to make the decision.
Okay.
And that's hard. But, I have to understand that at their ages, like while they're still, my two youngest are in college. So, yes, they're still my dependents to a degree, but they're still young adults.
And so you're trying to let them grow and to make their own decisions and come into their own.
Because they have to know how to make decisions. Because what kind of, who did I raise if I got to make every decision for them for the rest of their lives?
Mm-hmm.
I might as well save that, money that's going towards them being in school, and they can come on back here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And we be lifelong roommates. But
and so did I also hear you say, who am I? So are you like struggling with who you are now because they're gone?
I'm not. I don't think I would use the word struggling, but I'm figuring it out.
Okay.
Because keep in mind, divorce and youngest child graduated, so it's two major shifts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
Okay.
it's ghetto.
It is not.
It is ghetto.
It is not ghetto. You are fine. I don't even understand why she said that, y'all. She is one of the most professional people I know.
This you talking about me, Quilla? Sasha, what you in there snapping for? No,
What?
I was laughing. She done popped out. Top flight security. Yes, it is life changing. But I will say my empty nester adjustment was not nearly as hard as I thought it would be. I thought I was gonna be sliding down the wall slow crying.
Oh.
Jealously. Okay, let me finish this quickly, then I'm gonna give you my perspective on that. I did, because Yolanda knows. Well, my youngest son played 5 sports his senior year of high school, and I think the only thing I missed was a couple tennis matches.
Everything.
So I was everywhere.
Sometimes I'll be like, LaQuinta, let me know when you make it home.
Right.
It's midnight. Are you at home yet?
I don't be knowing what to do with myself, Charlotte. But I didn't know how I was gonna adjust from constantly being like, in addition to working multiple jobs, like I was always at his events, because I'm that mama, because I don't know when something gonna pop off. So and everybody don't treat your children right. Huh?
What does she mean? Quinta has spent so much time catering that she
taking care of other people, I guess. I guess that's what she's trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
I sure don't be knowing what to do with myself. That's why I go to sleep. But I thought it was gonna be and I thought it was gonna be this real big traumatic thing. Like, but I adjusted to that part well. I think I adjusted to be a single well.
Praise God.
But it's still so different. It's so different. Yeah, Jack, my cousin, no, we don't play them kind of games. We following our kids.
You have to. I mean, you really have to support them.
Yes, because anything can happen.
Yeah. If I miss something, they're like, why didn't you come? And I'm like, it was something that I couldn't go to. Oh, it was their Christmas party, and it was the same day as open house. And I go, why you didn't come to our Christmas party? I was like, I'm so sorry. I'll make it up to you.
And because it matters to them. It matters to them a lot. So look, my alarm off now, talking about it's my bedtime. But but so Quilla, about parenting. So here's how I feel. This is my perspective. I feel like the way you were parented does affect how you parent, but you decide if it affects it in a positive or negative way. So my my strategy was anything I felt like I needed and didn't get or didn't get fully, I tried to be that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And anything I felt like I got that was beneficial, I tried to do more of that. Um, and so if you had the type of parent that didn't show up at anything that you had, they never came to your game, never came to your plays, you decide, well, my mama didn't come to my stuff and I turned out okay, so I'm not coming to theirs, which to me is the negative, you
Mm-hmm.
know, side of that. Or you become the parent who says, my mama didn't come to my stuff, so I'm going to my child's stuff because I don't want them to feel like, they don't have nobody that they can look up in the stands or ain't nobody cheering for them. So you take, you know, uh however, whatever worked and do more of it, and whatever didn't, whatever you lacked, and you try to fill that so your child won't have those voids. That's my take on, or that's my approach.
Yep. Well, I
But you
thank
still
y'all
have to
for
balance
doing
in
that.
that.
Is there anybody who has any more questions? Now, look, last year we asked y'all for topics to see what y'all wanted to talk about, and y'all never gave us anything.
Just left us out here hanging.
Right. But we love to hear from y'all. We love the feedback, the comments. So next week I want to see who has went and got planners, or at least some kind of calendar, who's using their phone, and one thing that you accomplished for the week. Because hey, it's just Monday.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
But we have some good things in store for you this year.
And be ready to share.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yolanda rubbing her hands together. Birdman hand rub. What that mean?
Oh, I don't know. I was
Oh,
thinking. Resolution turns 5.
Oh wow.
Mm-hmm. Like on paper, we turned 5 last November, but we turned 5 like for real, for real.
Oh wow.
Seeing clients. So
That's
I'm excited.
amazing. I'm so proud of you.
Oh, thank you. But I could not have done it without y'all. Could not. I remember the day I called LaQuinta, I was like, "You got your LPC yet?" Yep. And I said, "You interested in doing some part-time work?" And she was like, "For you." And I said, "Oh, thank you."
Cheers. Yeah.
Because I was struggling. I was like, I need some help.
Yeah. Because
right on.
if it was anybody else, I say it all the time. If it was anybody else,
I quit.
Baby, he signed would have been up.
But we have a good time at work. We do.
We do. We really do.
And
Thank
Lord,
you, Charlotte.
to do the best that we can for our clients.
Yes, we do.
Despite them going off on a rampage sometimes.
Listen. Just in spite of.
We love them anyway.
Well, I guess we love them, but we don't like them.
Yeah.
Okay. I can live with that.
Yeah. So I think next week we'll try to be on 8:15ish.
Now it's a holiday, but we can still be on.
Oh, it is MLK Day. So what are y'all thoughts? Are y'all gonna tune in if we get on Monday? We might can get on earlier since everybody will be off.
Yeah, we can. It's a day on, not a day off.
Mm-hmm. And we definitely got to talk about something in relation to that.
Yeah.
So drop something in the chat if you can be on next Monday. I know some people may have MLK programs, but I think most of the people are doing things on Sunday or Sunday.
Who you talking about me?
Oh,
Maybe talking about me. And if you're not following resolutions on Facebook and Instagram, don't pick on me, because if you're not following resolutions on Facebook and Instagram, please do so.
oh, okay. I gotta fix that. I misspelled something.
Oh yeah. Okay.
But look, y'all know what I was trying to say. Congratulations. I don't know why that
Yes.
that H is on the back up there. All right, yeah. So we looking forward to Monday. We will drop a time so y'all can tune in. And listen, if you want to join us, if you want to get on the screen, all you gotta do is let us know and we can link you in.
Mm-hmm.
Love for you to join us. I saw Mr. Davis on here. Maybe he'll join us on MLK Day. All right. Well, y'all have a blessed week. Thank y'all so much.
Good night.
Good night.